Hello, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. Today we are starting at 11 p.m. Nigerian time. We are starting just an hour earlier than before. So today we have a lot of things to discuss. We are going to talk about the issue of anarchy that is looming in this country, in Nigeria. Some persons have started regarding Nigeria as a non-nation. When I mean non-nation, they argue that Nigeria is no longer a country because of so many things we are seeing from around the country. So this evening, we are going to look into the anarchy that is looming in this country. And when I talk about anarchy, what is an anarchy? On a normal, definition or meaning of anarchy, anarchy has to do with the state of lawlessness, where a country exists with people who are breaking the laws, especially the civilians, the people of the country. But in the situation of Nigeria, it's totally different. Opposite is the case. We have anarchy that is looming in Nigeria, and this anarchy is in a perverse manner. When I mean this anarchy is in a perverse manner, I mean the people who are in the authority, who are the government, who are supposed to protect the law, who are supposed to protect the people, are the one who are sponsoring terrorism, are the one who are breaking the law, are the one who are, making this anarchy to happen in the country. We have a lot of things to talk today, and it might surprise you to see that so many people in the government today of Nigeria are part and parcel of the people who are sponsoring terrorism, making things difficult for the citizens of Nigeria. So stay with me tonight while we expose so many things and run through this journey. And tonight, we are going to start by the exposition of the Zanfara State Governor, I mean the Igbo Governor of Zanfara State. So this is not Okocha talking about it any longer. This is an Igbo Governor. So many of you must have seen the video when he came to the Arise News, it's a national television, and exposed the Minister of Defense State, who is Bello Matawande, the former governor of Zanfara State. So the incumbent governor of Zanfara State came to the Arise News to tell the whole world that someone who is a minister of defense in Tinubu's cabinet is the one sponsoring bandits. He did not just say he's one sponsoring terrorism. He said he is a bandit. This was his exact words. So we have a lot of things to look into because so many people in Nigeria don't know what is going on. Our purpose is to let you know what is going on so that you will not be, taken unaware. So many Nigerians are on the death row. They wake up on their road, they meet death. They meet kidnapping and robbery. They just lost their life like that, and nobody cares. Nobody even report that people like that die. So Nigeria is in a state of anarchy. No law at all governing Nigeria. The law only exists where a poor man do something that is wrong. Listen to what the incumbent governor of Zanfara said. This is serious.
In fact, let me say this very categorical. If I were him, I would resign and face all the allegations against me. And that would have been more honorable because
let me explain this thing better. Let me explain this thing better for you so that you will understand what this man is saying. The man talking to you is Dauda. You know, he is the current governor of Zanfara State. He is talking about his predecessor so that when you are listening, you will understand what this man is saying. He is telling Tinubu, Minister of Defense, to resign. He is telling Tinubu's Minister of Defense to resign. That, you know, he has so many allegations because he's sponsoring terrorism and so on and so forth. So listen to what he's saying.
You know, in fact, let me say this very categorical. If I were him, I would resign and face all the allegations against me. And that would have been more honorable because, you know, in fact, let me say this very categorical. If I were him, I would resign and face all the allegations against me. And that would have been more honorable because from all the information we're getting, my predecessor was fully involved in some of these banditry issues. Typical is the fact that there was a permanent secretary when his children were abducted. And it was unfortunate that he had to pay ransom through the government house. And it was also very clear, based on all the allegations, that bandits were being kept at government house. You know, there are so many issues. So for me, honestly, if I were him, I'll step aside and face this allegation until I clear my name before I come back and continue my job. That should have been more honorable. And how can you imagine all these allegations against him? And he's still the Minister of Defense. I mean, that is unfair. This man could have been honorable, stay aside, face all these allegations, clear his name, and then come back and continue to do whatever he wants to do. Whether he wants to remain as minister or he wants to do something else, that would have been more honorable as far as I'm concerned. If I'm in that position, believe me, I'll put in my resignation letter.
Well, Your Excellency, he has...
All right. I really want to explain what this man is just saying. I want to explain what he's saying. He's saying that if he is in the position of Tinubu's Minister of Defense, that what he ought to do, what he's supposed to do, is just to resign, just to tender his resignation, because there are a lot of allegations against him. Now, after saying this on TVC, people were thinking that, oh, maybe this is how everything is going to end. This man did not stop here. This is a governor of Zanfara State. He did not stop there. He now went on to Arise News to expose the same thing. So the question I'm asking is, what is the purpose or mission of this man? I know what he's doing, to be honest. I know what he's doing. I know how he's exposing so many things that he met that is not good. Let's listen to what he said on Arise News.
Of an influence that the federal government have in, or has in, fighting this war with you in Zamfara State? What's been the involvement of federal government?
Security situation is not just for Zamfara. It's across all the northern part. However, Zamfara play a dominant role in terms of the banditry because this is where they hibernate. They move from Zamfara to Katsina, Niger, Kaduna, Sokoto, and so on and so forth. And you know, it's the responsibility of federal government to provide safety of people, lives and property. which is the security forces that include the military, the police, as well as civil defense. Yeah, they're doing their best. However, there's a need to do more to deal with these guys decisively. Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying.
And that is the same question that Nigerians are failing to ask. This is the governor of Zanfara State. He's saying that they know where these people are. They know where they live. They know their parents. Look at that third statement he made. We know these people. We know where they are. We know where they live. And we know their parents. That is to tell you that the insecurity in Nigeria is just the government-sponsored insecurity. I'm not blaming the governor, mind you. The governor said something. He said, the police and the military is not under my control. It's not under my authority. That is what he said. You know what that means? It means that if it is under my authority, I supposed to have stopped this insecurity. And another thing you people fail to understand is that all this kidnapping you are seeing in the South, in the Southeast, in the Southwest, they emanated from Zanfara State, from this man's state. So when this man is telling you about what is going on in Zanfara State, believe him. For those of you who do not understand what he's saying, just listen to him.
Like I said, we know where these guys are. We know where they live. We know their parents.
You know them as a government?
Of course we do. They live with the same community we live.
So why is it difficult to get them?
That is the $1 million question that I should ask you.
We are trying to understand, for those of us who are now conversant with Zanfara, have never been there, and we hear you as a chief security officer speak tonight to say you know these people, but yet you can't get them. It's a head scratcher.
It is something that we are trying to all put our heads together. That is why, from what I can do as a governor, to have this CPG as a first line of defense.
So, I hope you understand what this man said, that they know these people very well. Now, the question is, what is stopping them to stop the insecurity? What is that thing that is stopping them to stop insecurity? That is why if people are telling you that these people have another motive, why they are sponsoring insecurity, these people have another plan entirely, don't doubt them. Because can you answer these questions that they are asking this man? If you know where these people live, you know their parents, you know where they are, what is stopping you? Because let me tell you, let me be honest with you, people who are dying in Nigeria don't have the statistics. People who are dying in Nigeria every day, they outnumber people who are dying even in Gaza, people who are dying in war-ravaged Ukraine. People who are dying in Nigeria outnumber all these people. And everybody just keep quiet as if nothing is happening. This man is telling you that, yes, we know everything that is going on. This is just mind-blowing. Let me tell you, this is what I call anarchy. So it is people in the government who are masterminding anarchy, who are preparing. I don't know what they are really preparing, but this anarchy is looming. Because even the citizens, they are not going to fold their hands to see people dying every day. As I tell you before, so many Nigerians are on the death row, insecurity everywhere. And politicians who are supposed to do all these things are busy preparing for the next election. They don't care about you. They don't care about your future. They don't care about anything that concerns you. As far as it has nothing to do with them winning the election by any means, either by hook or by crook, they don't care. If they might let 1,000 people die today, they are not interested. As far as that thing is not connecting to what will make them win, they will not even care. How many times do you see your local government chairman, your House of Assembly member in the state, your federal House of Assembly, even your state. How many times have you seen these people come to show concern about the state of insecurity? How many times? Yes, I know that it is only the federal government that has the power to mobilize the police to do all those things. But the question I'm asking, apart from the federal government, the state government, the local government, the House of Assembly member, the House of Rep member, they have the ability to mobilize the vigilante. They have the ability to make sure they equip the vigilante to carry out the works that they're supposed to do. But none of them are doing anything. Here you are, a governor telling you that they know the terrorists. They know them. They know where they live. They know their parents. And Nigerians are not asking questions. We feel that we are so, we have intellectuals in Nigeria. But in actual sense, we are dumbs. In actual sense, we are dumbs. Because we are not asking the actual question we're supposed to ask. Sometimes I do think that we have been psycho-conditioned. Because when you are born and brought up from a place where it's like this, they don't obey the law, a place where law doesn't function, where poverty, wretchedness, everything is just looming like this, you will think that that is the way life is. Unfortunately, that is not the way life is. And all these politicians, they do travel abroad. They know what is going on in abroad. They travel, they come back. They know everything. So let's go to understand what this man is saying in another video.
Few people terrorizing people. You think they are more powerful than the state?
At this point, it does look like so.
I don't think so. We are ready, we are committed, and we'll come to the end of banditry in Zamfara State, northern Nigeria, as well as Nigeria in general.
That is reassuring, and we really do hope that that comes to fruition.
Absolutely.
And I think every Nigerian...
We've started doing that.
We really hope for that.
And it will be sustained.
Indeed. Well, speaking about clandestine operations or negotiations, very recently there was a letter allegedly signed by your secretary to the state government. It went viral. It requested a sum of about 1.3 billion naira, I recall, for settlements with some bandit kingpins, for you to be able to carry out activities in the state. Well, your government came out very quickly to deny that. But where did that letter originate from? I mean, it's a couple of weeks after. Have you been able to identify where it came from and who was behind it?
First of all, it was a very, very big mischief.
Mischief?
By political opponents to paint Zamfara State Governor Dodolal as a bad guy. I worked for more than 30 years in my life. I have experience in governance. There is no way any right-thinking person will sit down and write that kind of memo, knowing that someday somebody will come and look at that memo. And I'll be so stupid enough to sit down and write names of all the bandits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bandits to give them money. My stand has always been clear to whoever cares to listen. I do not and I will not negotiate with bandits. If you look at the heading of that letter, it says Northwest Governors Meeting in Katsina State. This is something that took place 3 months ago. If you look at the body of the letter, it's asking for money. And there are two parts of that letter. One for the bandit, one for some journalists. Yes. Would I be stupid enough, even if I'm going to bribe you as a journalist, for example, to write down Adeswa, X amount of money? Does it make sense to you? That is number one. Number two, I challenge anybody. The way the letter was addressed, HC, which means Honorable Commissioner Finance, go and check all the memos from 29th of May 2023 to date, if there's any of such memo that I've addressed my commissioner, please, I'll give you a lot of money as a proof.
Okay, because we do not want to bet and I don't want to collect your money. But
so it's mischief.
Mischief.
And also to answer you, you know, it's a world of technology. It's so easy to find any information. And we're able to trace down the IP address of that.
So you do have those behind it?
We and
who was behind it?
No, I won't tell you because there's a legal process.
Has the person been arrested? Was it one individual?
Well,
was it a group of people?
we've communicated to the IG, DSS, NIA, with the full information as to who is responsible. So we're waiting, and the legal people will follow to make sure that person is brought to justice. So it will be a deterrent against such mischief.
Is this someone in politics?
They're not even
someone in your state?
You know, they're so narrow-minded, even the way the whole thing was crafted.
Was it someone in your state, Mr. Governor?
Well, Adesra, when the case is out, you'll know. We'll make it public.
Okay, we'll keep our fingers crossed. But for some of our viewers that are watching and who have heard you say, you know, you would not be stupid enough to write or sign a memo, they might interpret that as to say you don't leave trails. So are there clandestine negotiations or operations you do without writing and having to sign? I just wanted to clarify that.
I'm much more intelligent to be able to handle my memos.
So you do have memos like that, but you just don't sign?
There's nothing that is hidden. After all, it's for public consumption. That is why I said, go to Zanfara. You have a correspondent in Zanfara.
Yes, we do.
Can you tell that person tomorrow to go to Minister of Finance and look at all the memos, the way we write memos? If there's any of such memo, I'll give that person 20 million naira tomorrow.
Okay, Mr. Governor, you do have a lot of money you want to give out.
Yeah, well, I can sacrifice that money.
So you can sacrifice it. Great.
So as to bring justice and fairness to people.
Great. Interesting. There's a common sentiment that these bandits are well known, and you've explained it to us, and yet the situation remains. But despite all of this, one wonders how Zanfara and the governor are able to carry out any activities. Do you think that the situation in your state is blown out of proportion, or is it underreported, or you're just able to function within the chaos?
You see, number one thing is I refuse to be distracted by anybody. I remain focused. And that is the essence of governance. Zamfara State, unfortunately, has faced too many challenges. From education, we're at the bottom. Healthcare service delivery, non-existent. Infrastructure, zero. This is what Zamfara was known for. But for any responsible leader, you need to look at the situation, do effective planning, and be able to remain focused and deal with the situation. And that is exactly what we're doing. It is interesting to know that when we took over, there were a lot of liabilities, ranging from backlog of salaries, 4 months.
Examination fees?
NACO, WAEC, judiciary, scholarship, and so many others, running into billions of money. And guess what? We're able to clear all those. It is also interesting to know, since 2011, there hasn't been any payment of pension or gratuity to the tune of 13.6 billion. So far, we've cleared about 9 billion of that money. And we declared state of emergency on health November last year, November 28, 2023. In January, this year, January 30th, we also declared state of emergency in education.
All right. Now, I want to tell you something. I want you to begin to monitor this governor and see how this governor will be removed from office. You know why? A governor like this is supposed to, have a second term as a governor because he is doing good. He has his people at heart. But Nigeria is not a normal country. Nigeria is not a normal country. Just take a monitor of this governor. He is not going to last. If they will even allow him to finish his first tenure, it will be by the grace of God. Because they will be fighting him from the left to the right. Because someone in Tinubu's cabinet, the Minister of Defense for that matter, that is the person he's indicting. Saying that the person is a bandit. That the person is sponsoring bandits, someone who is in the Tinubu's cabinet. I know that so many things like this are going on from across the nation. But do your governor have the guts to speak? And the other day, the senator representing the Delta North Senatorial District, he made a statement, Senator Nedemoko. He made a statement about, the political things going on in Delta State. Before you know, everybody was just saying, why must you say that? You will not win next election. I just fold my hand, I'm watching people. So because the governor said that, because the senator said that the governor supposed to do this, the governor did not do this, and they used the state money, they borrowed the state money, and so on and so forth. That is why people are saying he will not come back for the second time. Nigeria is not a normal country. Anybody saying the truth, they will be ready to eliminate you. As far as you are saying the truth, they will be ready to eliminate you. Now, let's go back to what Deji Adeyanju was saying the other day.
Few people terrorizing people. You think they are more powerful than the state?
At this point, it does.
It's on the nation. And I must also add that the productive sector of our economy are the young people. And these young people, they don't use siren, they don't use convoys, and also they are not even captured in the economic indices of our country. Let me give you a simple analogy how doomed this country is. You see, among the police, only 13,000 police officers are engaged in fighting banditry and terrorist activities. 13,000. But go to the first CID, go and check. You can even use FOI to check this. 130,000 are following big men up and down. 130,000 are following big men up and down. In the Senate alone, and that's Senate and House of Reps alone, there are 3,600 police people attached to these jobless senators and House of Rep people. Why will insecurity not persist in the country? If you see one small boy, just because he does Yahoo, he commands 4 or 5 policemen. That's why the country is fucked. I'm sorry to use the word, the F word. The country is doomed for real, and there's no coming back from it. Any nation where the police, the SSS, the army are subcontracted to politicians instead of policing the nation can never work. Forget about this cosmetic surgery and all these things. And believe me, as we are here, I can assure you that there are more than 200 conferences going on in Abuja right now. Nothing comes out of these conferences. Absolutely nothing. If you go to Merit House, if you go to Transcorp, if you go to Sheraton, if you go to Ibro Hotel, even here, I think there are about 4 or 5 conferences going on here today. These are conferences, you print conference material, they do flyer, they do banner, we are wasting time in this country. Nigeria needs active citizens who will just wake up early in the morning on a faithful Wednesday or Thursday or Friday and occupy the entire nation and demand for reform and demand that these armed robbers, these buccaneers who are in the National Assembly, that they must stop stealing. A situation where you have the national budget, and 80% of the national budget is stolen. Is stolen. Blatantly stolen. And you expect me, you tell me that things can work. A situation where in a country, somebody stands in a church and says, lion carried him on his back. And people actually believe. People believe. So how do you want such a nation to work? And again, can you really blame them? You can't blame them, because go and check all nations of the earth where governments have failed. People turn to God and religion. That's why you see people. Are you not surprised that Nigerians are calling on God of Israel, but Israel is calling on Iron Dome for protection? So, having said that, it's also important to say that if not for social media, where will we have been able to see the Akpabios of this world that will tell citizens and insult them that while you are protesting, I'll be eating? You know, if not for social media, how would we have seen Yabelo resisting arrest by EFCC? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the First Lady fooling around planting something in her backyard, and that is the only way to develop an economy? If not for social media, how will we have been able to know the abracadabra of Dangote and the NNPC and all their wuru-wuru? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the miracle of off your mic? You remember when the other man was accused of stealing 80-something billion naira, and immediately they started asking questions in the National Assembly. He fainted. You know, if not for social media, how will we have been able to see the exposure of tribal bigots online who tells Igbos not to vote in Lagos in their own country on election day? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the level of brigandry during elections and electioneering, where Edo election is just coming up in a few days? The last election in Edo, a reporter was reporting that APC is sharing 5,000. PDP is sharing 5,000. Everybody's collecting and everybody's happy. If not for social media, how will we have been able to see those unethical practices? Again, if not for social media, how will we have been able to see the young man from China who exposes corruption and skill, the lecturer from Kanu, Dambelu, who is Tinubu's friend? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see that? If not for social media, how will we have been able to see the APC national chairman, Gandola, stuffing his Babariga with dollars? This is what they want to regulate. Don't allow them to regulate social media. Social media remains the conscience of the citizenry. If not for social media, how will we have been able to know that they have renamed Nigeria Federal Republic of Rice? Every problem, they believe that rice is the solution. If not for social media, finally, I know my time is up, and I'm so sorry. If not for social media, how will we have been able to harness the power and the dynamism of the youth during End SARS, End Bad Governance, and other social changing events? Social media has become a tool of mobilization. The reason why the government is so scared and why they did everything humanly possible to stop protests and agitation is because they know. And the reason why they target social media is because they know the power that social media wields, and they intend to stop the power. And in closing, if not for social media, how will we have been able to know all the exposures of corruption in the society? It's on the nation.
All right, that was Deji Adeyanju. Everything he said here, I think if it is another person that said it, maybe they would have said, oh, the person is just saying, for nothing. Thank God he's a lawyer and they know what is going on in Nigeria. Despite they are still in it. But you see, you can't hide the truth. You can't hide the truth for so long. You can't hide the truth. So this is the situation we are seeing in Nigeria. Please, I really want to apologize for something. All these questions, costs, and everything, we are going to we are going to start a vertical live because I'm having problem with this software that I'm using to stream. The thing is showing me that it is going to off. I don't know why, but I think the only way we can resolve it is to come to live, the vertical live. Let me just use YouTube directly. So I will put a phone number where you are going to call through WhatsApp. That is this number on the screen. You call in to ask your questions about this and also to talk to us what you think about all these things that we have been saying for 35 minutes now so far. Let us know what you think. I've seen a lot of questions on the comment section. Please kindly come to Vertical Live at this moment. I'm going to end this live streaming. So please come to that side so that you call in and ask your questions. Thank you so much about that. I'm having problem with this software that I'm using to stream at this moment.